Kaito to airdrop millions of dollars to their community, AVAX pre-sales continue to gain traction, and Becker gives an update for his meme coin along with some meme coin drama. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Crypto Gorilla video. As usual, I'm not a financial advisor. All of this is just my opinion, which can be totally wrong. If you appreciate these kind of videos, hit that subscribe button and let's jump right into it. Starting off with Kaito officially announcing their token, which plenty of people seem very bullish on across the timeline. It is dominating the timeline with a bunch of price predictions and airdrop info, which while I do believe people are genuine about some of their predictions, this gets crazy engagement. And the way you earn yaps on Kaito is by getting a lot of engagement, especially from smart accounts. So people are clearly doing their best to farm. Now, I absolutely love the Kaito platform. I think it's a great idea. I can also take advantage of it. And so far, there have been 5 different money-making opportunities through the platform. The first was their NFT, which unfortunately I wasn't able to mint, but this thing minted for 0.2 and it is currently at 11.15 ETH, which is something like a 56x return. So amazing returns already. The next way is through their Yapper leaderboard, as multiple projects, I believe 3. That's why I say 5 opportunities total. So I think 3 opportunities right here, as Anime, Barachain, and Story Protocol each did their own airdrops for Yappers. And for Anime, I made 550 bucks. For Barachain, I made 3,500 bucks, and I didn't do Story Protocol, but it's not like I tweeted a crazy amount. So the opportunity here is great if you've built up a strong audience. And then the final way is by selling your votes, because companies want to be on the Yap leaderboard or the Kaito leaderboard in order to get more engagement for their launch. So they are willing to pay to be at the front of the line here when it comes to votes. Personally, I've used Yap Trade to do the OTC deal. I sold my first week for like $700 and something. And this is something that you can repeat week over week as long as there are buyers. So like I said, this platform is a goldmine if you've built up a strong audience, which takes a lot of time. I see a lot of people FOMOing like they're struggling to get yaps. It's probably because you didn't build up a strong Twitter, right? Your Twitter might even look like a retweet farm because all you do is enter AlphaBot giveaways. So this is something over time, but if these airdrops continue, it's worth doing. Now, as for the airdrop, I did see this post saying the Kaito token is already deployed, which it's not live. So please do not go buy anything. It's probably a rug if you're looking at something. And the deployment was confirmed by the team. So it seems like the token is already out there and potentially coming very soon. However, he is making some speculation here on the allocation, saying 10% for liquidity and 33% for the airdrop, which I did see this post from Moritz making some assumptions that if 8% go to the NFTs and 25% go to Yappers, and it's a $1.75 billion FDV, that would be $93,000 per NFT, which we just saw they're currently trading at roughly $30,000. So over a 3x from the current prices. And then he says $250 per Yap, not the price of the token because Yaps equal multiple tokens, $250 per Yap, which would be absolutely insane. Now, I did see this post from Skyline where he made a little board here showing the top Yappers and how much they would be airdropped if it's $100 per Yap and $250 per Yap, which these airdrops would be crazy. But we've seen this plenty of times in Web3, like Hype airdropped millions of dollars to people. So it is very possible. However, on the other end, we also have Sammy saying, hey, it's probably 33% for liquidity, market making, and centralized exchanges, and only 10% is allocated for the airdrop, in which case at that FDV, 1.75 bill, it would be $70 per Yap and $35K per NFT, which at those prices, the NFTs are fairly priced, and the $70 per Yap would still be amazing. I have like 700 Yaps. I'd be getting 50 grand just for tweeting. Awesome. Now you might be asking, where are they getting this FDV from? And that comes from the OTC market. So people are trading tokens before they launched, sort of like trading futures. And as you can see, the current price is around $1.35. So 1.35 billion, which is less than what they're assuming it's going to be. But if you look at this chart, multiple times the price has been above 2 billion FDV, and it almost hit 2.5 billion, which is more than their assumptions. So it's not the craziest thing, but don't like assume this is going to be the price just because this is what people are trading at on these secondary markets. So like I said, some of you are probably frustrated that you're not able to earn yaps. I'm getting tagged a bunch, like, please follow me, please engage with my stuff. That's not going to help you. It's not going to work. You need to have built a good profile over time and have a lot of these people engaging with your content. Like, botting your content is not going to do anything for it. And this is more of the long game. So when it comes to pre-sales, when it comes to platforms that reward you like this, I think it's worth doing over time if it's something you're interested in. The other thing I'm doing is I'm making sure I am actually voting. Yes, I'm trying to sell my votes and make more money, but I'm also just trying to allocate my votes in case this is like a metric they're looking at where they're saying, hey, did you actually interact and engage with the project, or were you just tweeting and collecting yaps? Next up, with Wink putting in a new all-time high of 140 million, which from the pre-salers point of view, that's a 230x return, as well as Ket also putting in a new all-time high, reaching briefly 500 million, currently sitting at 400 million market cap. And like, this chart looks amazing, as does the Wink chart here for anybody who got in pre-sale, but even anybody who got in on the secondary market. Again, it doesn't mean like it's not going to go down, but if you bought in before this, you're up. So amazing for buyers. And because of these two tokens, the AVAX Memecoin scene is continuing to heat up. There's a ton of demand for it, especially with all of the drama that is happening on Solana. Now, the difference here is that it's pre-sales, right? People aren't finding these tokens on the secondary market for launch. They are getting into them early via pre-sales, which we did see on Solana with platforms like DAO's Fund and DAO's World, where you were able to get an early allocation. And the two pre-sales that everybody is rushing to get, I'm seeing them being tagged in all these threads and upcoming project posts that you should get, are Memoria as well as Blub. Now, Memoria is one I spoke about in my Friday video. However, I have done a bit more research since then. So they do have NFTs. The NFTs were recently trading for sub 0.1 and are currently at 0.4. And the reason for this is that they do have a utility when it comes to the token. 4% of the token supply is going to be allocated to these tickets that stakers have been accumulating like once a month. 1% of the supply is just going to be passed out for stakers. So you are able to do some moon math here with the supply of 1,888 based on where the token price goes. If it goes to 10, 50, 100 million, whatever, you could figure out what the airdrop is going to be. And then finally, since this is a pre-sale, there is what they call sort of guaranteed allocation for NFT stakers. If you're doing weird stuff with the NFT, trying to like swap it wallets, you're going to lose your allocation, but they say there's going to be a small allocation. And then if you have many NFTs staked, that increases your size of allocation, as there are 3 different allocation sizes for this project. Now, although I'm bullish on this project, I did see some FUD around it, as the Twitter did have previous names like Bitcoin Pepe, Mew, and Mew on Base, which the team has addressed in the past. They do address it again here. They say, hey, for Bitcoin Pepe, we did refund. For Mew, we never launched those ones. And I understand this is a red flag for a lot of people. Often it's something I check, like, hey, have they launched rugs before? These guys refunded a project and then the other one they never launched. And this is completely normal. Like, it is not easy launching a project. So I've seen many teams that have tried different iterations until they finally get something right. Even the top projects in the space, with Zagabond launching Azuki and Luca buying Pudgy Penguins, they've both worked on or even launched projects before. For Zagabond launched, and for Luca, he worked on different projects. And now they have the largest projects in the space. You need that experience in order to launch a good project. And like I said here, I didn't verify this, but they said they refunded and there's proofs available. So maybe for you, it's a red flag. For me personally, I don't care. Now, I know they're also working with or have worked with Ava Labs in the past. They're also working with D-Launch for their launch, which the last token that I'm aware of that they did was AIGG. As you can see, it unfortunately was sniped all the way past 70 million, and then it just dumped because snipers abused the coin. It is currently sitting at roughly 8 million. So I hope they learned their lessons from this, and the launch of Albert, which is the name of the token for Memoria, is not going to be sniped and just a pump and dump. So if you're interested in this project, the form for the pre-sale is still open. I'll link it down below. It's going to be open 7 days total. So by the time you're watching this video on the 17th, you have, I think, 2 days left. And then the other pre-sale is Blub, which there's really no information about this project. It's really just at the moment art and vibes. I have not spoken with the team yet, so I can't give you too much info, but I do see it catching a lot of of traction, and the form hasn't opened yet for the application, so you're still early. Now, with all the hype that AVAX is getting, there's for sure going to be a ton of rugs that pop up and try to take advantage of this meta. So any pre-sale that I do, whether it's Wink, whether it's Blub, whether it's Memoria, or any in the future, I just assume my money is gone. So you need to ask yourself, am I okay with the risk that I'm taking on if I lost this money? And if you're okay with it, fine. So that's what I'm doing. I'm cool with the risk. I'm going to max send, at least for Memoria. I haven't decided on Blub yet because I haven't seen the project, but I'm probably going to end up sending if I do get the allocation. But I'm cool with taking that risk. Like, don't just send money because I'm sending and you're assuming that I know something or like this project's going to do well. You need to do your own research and decide if this is right for you. Next on the list, I did want to talk about OMB, as they do have a mint coming up. They recently inscribed an image on the blockchain showing the upcoming mint with some clues, which is going to be the Black Eyes collection. And it's going to be the 5th iteration in the OMB collection, bringing it to red eyes, blue eyes, green, orange, and black. The supply is now going to be 9,000, which I believe is the cap of the supply, but don't quote me there. And the hints that they give away in the image are the mint date of February 25th, the price of 0.021 Bitcoin, roughly $2,000, and the allocation of whitelist based on your holdings. And as much as I like this collection, as much as I like the vibes, a ton of my friends have them as PFPs. I personally hold 2 orange eyes. I got some questions. Like, that's what I'm going to say. I got some questions, okay? I'm probably going to be negative. I'm just warning you. I know they have a ton of diehard holders who are going to come at me and like say mean things or whatever, but that's just what it is, because I have some questions. I'm wondering, why are they trying to raise $10 million on top of having already raised $50 million, pretty much having delivered nothing? I get it. It's an art project. They don't have to deliver anything, but they raised 50 mil, right? You would expect something. Now they're asking for another $10 million, and the market's down bad. Ordinals are down bad. Runes are down bad, and they're going to drain another $10 million from people. To me, it doesn't really feel right. And when you look at the demand for the collection, yes, when they announced the Black Eyes, the price went up. But right now, the mint price for Orange Eyes was 0.09. Currently, they're at almost 0.09, so they're basically back to mint, but that was the mint price for holders. The mint price for whitelisters was 0.29. At current prices, that's like $28,500 to mint an NFT. Yes, it was flippable out the gate, and for a while, you could have gotten 0.5, so almost a 2x return for your money, and it was your choice to flip it or not. But people who spent 40,000, 50,000, 6 figures on the rare ones, like, they're all down bad. And again, I understand the secondary market performance is outside of the team's control, but what have they done to drive demand to this collection? There's been 4 tweets since the Orange Eyes mint. There was a video, there's been 2 tweets here, and then there was this tweet about Christie's. Other than that, there's been nothing. It is radio silence from ZK. It is radio silence from OMB. If you manage to get in the Discord, it's very cryptic. Like, it's hard to figure out any information. That does seem to be the culture, but at the same time, like, I feel it's normal to have questions when they raised so much money and they're asking for more money. Now, I think part of the problem is the culture there is just like, people, when I was asking questions, people were telling me floor it and get out. Like, if that's the culture, if you guys are cool with this, that's on you. But I know a lot of holders who are very frustrated. They have a lot of questions, but they're scared to ask because they know the attitude of people and how they're going to get berated for asking questions. Even if you list your NFTs, like, they're checking wallets to see who's listing. And it's very much a vibe of, yo, just trust me, bro. But it's easy to say that when you've raised $50 million and you're just chilling on tens of millions of dollars. Meanwhile, people are down tens of thousands of dollars on your collection. So I hope some of the stuff that was hinted happen. I know they wanted to get Ross involved and hopefully get him to change his PFP, which, yes, I think would bring up the floor. There was speculation. I don't know if they ever confirmed this, but there was speculation that they were going to buy like a ton of miners or set up like a facility, and then all the Bitcoin they mine would be given back to the people, to the holders, which that would be cool because people would start seeing Bitcoin from their PFP without having to sell their OMB. But the only thing I could find on Bitcoin mining was from his Substack, which he did say in the AMA. Did I mention they had an AMA on Sunday? That's where I tried to ask the questions, but I got 0 answers. He did say, go check my Substack, which the last post was from August 2024. Before that, it's from 2023. So I'm not sure what I'm supposed to find here. There's a post on miners, but it's like these individual rigs that they're sending out to some holders. And they also link to a GitHub at the bottom here, as this is a open source project, but it seems like nobody's developed the core in the last 2 years of this project. So I don't know what's happening with it. And like I said, it is impossible to get answers. So I know I'm being negative about this project. I know they have a diehard community that's probably going to come after me. I think a lot of them have drank the Kool-Aid, like many of us do, myself included, with a lot of NFTs. I hope they turn this around. I hope I'm wrong and they have a ton of things planned. And once the final mint happens, they just start pumping things out one after another and they revitalize ordinals. But for the time being, like, I find it very frustrating with these kind of projects where the founders just laissez faire. Like, meanwhile, he's sitting on $50 million. Next up, I wanted to talk about a mint happening this week on February 19th and 20th. We finally have Onchain Heroes. Now, they also announced the price, which is 0.069, a little more on the expensive side for the performance we've seen on Abstract, especially that it is a 10K collection, but I plan on minting this because I do want to play the game. So the mint is split up into 2 days. Like I said, day one is for the ring holders, which I do have. You get 3 mints, meaning the supply on day one is going to be just under 3,000, which I'm wondering, are they going to do like other Abstract projects where you're not allowed to trade on day one? Because if they open up trading, who's going to come in and buy for higher than the mint price when there's 70% of the supply still left to be minted the following day? So it's going to be very interesting to see how they do this. The game is going to be live during mint, so you're going to be able to check it out for yourself and see, is this a game you think has potential? I'm really hoping this becomes like the wolf game of our cycle. I like the team. I like Scarly. I like what they're doing. So I want this to perform well. But we have seen Abstract has been struggling. So I really hope this one manages to break that and maybe kick off like an on-chain gaming little bull run. Next up, jumping into meme coins, we have an update on the Becker meme coin, which is going to be launching sometime in March. Here he says over the next 2.5 weeks, he's going to give away the final 5 large allocations and 60 mini allocations, which if the token hits 100 mil, he says the large allocations will be worth 6 figures and the minis will be worth 5 figures. And then he's also going to do a 15,000 person whitelist where you're just going to get the token for free, probably very small just to increase the holder count, but still you're going to get it for free. Now, I know with all the drama around like celebrity coins and all this stuff, people are upset. He says here he's going to get 0. There are no fees, no pre-sale, no insiders, which you could choose to believe him or not. Like if I ever launch a meme coin, you can bet that I'm going to make millions of dollars doing it. There's no point in taking on all the risk without getting any of the reward. He's already rich, so maybe he's telling the truth here. I think he's telling the truth. I don't think he's trying to make fees or anything off of this coin, but I do know whenever I talk about him, I get some comments like upset, like he's a scammer. Why are you giving him attention? If you honestly believe that he's a scammer, this is your perfect opportunity to get revenge because he is giving away 6 figures in allocation for free. You do not have to put any money in. You just have to figure out the riddle. You get the tokens for free and then you could dump it on him. You could dump the token and say, I made 6 figures off of you. Thanks. Bye. Okay. That's the attitude you should have of making money and not wasting your time like fudding him in the comments. Speaking of FUD, we had probably one of the craziest stories to come out around a meme coin as the president of a country of Argentina is in hot water here with his opponents trying to use a meme coin to impeach him as $107 million was rug pulled by the team. As you can see this post in Bubble Maps here saying the team is cashing out. They already made 87 million. And of course, a ton of people are upset about this. Now, the TLDR is that the president put out a tweet, which is now deleted, of a contract saying it's a coin for Argentina and they're going to use the money to fund small businesses. And the coin pumped all the way to 5 billion. And then the team was allegedly selling and the coin, as you can see, went down very bad. Most people I saw buying lost a ton of money. We have Pau here. We have Cupsy. We have Dave Portnoy from Barstools. All got absolutely destroyed, and the coin is currently at 300 million. Now, everybody goes on a witch hunt when they lose money, and some of the people who got caught in the crossfire are KIP Protocol. I was very upset when I saw this. They claim they had nothing to do with the launch itself, and their job was going to be post-launch to help manage the funds and decide like which businesses are going to be helped out with the war chest that they built up. One, I don't like the way they built up the war chest. Like, immediately dumping 100 mil in the coin. It's basically like a fundraise from trenchers, but that's not the way to go about it. Like, this isn't a charity. So I really didn't like whoever's managing the project that they did this. But Kip says, hey, we weren't involved in the launch, but they kind of threw themselves at the mercy of the people here by being the first to come out, by doing this spaces, and the people were just assuming that they're the ones who launched the coin because they're not going to believe you. People are just looking for someone to blame. Now, there have been some updates since then, as the founder of Kelsier did come out and make a video, and they also put out a letter. Unfortunately, a lot of people are not going to read this letter, but in here they say, hey, Julian and Kip had nothing to do with the launch. They had nothing to do with the launch, the market making, the liquidity pools, any of the selling. Their job was post launch to come in and help out. But unfortunately, it is a bad look for Kip Protocol, and their token is suffering because of this. Now, the other thing that this Kelsier dude says in this video is that they are willing to put the money back into the token and burn the supply, which I was thinking, yo, this thing's going to pump. If they burn 80% of the supply and they put $107 million into the token, it's going to full send, which a lot of people thought. You could see here, there was this giant candle here when they announced that, and it went right back down. So hopefully you did not get rugged twice by this token. Hopefully you didn't get rugged at all by this token, but overall, just horrible for the space. Like, a ton of money was drained from the space. Very bad for Kip Protocol, which is a project I really like. Like, I've spoken about this many times. I like their AI stuff, the decentralized AI. I think they have a valid business, but the token is now tainted because of this meme coin. So I really hope they can recover it from this. And I know that CoffeeZilla put out a tweet saying he spoke to Julian. He spoke to, I think his name's Hayden, this Kelsier dude, and he's going to put out a video. So I'm sure we're going to get a ton more information that we didn't know. But overall, a very unfortunate situation for meme coins, or for the space in general. But I think it's going to keep happening, and I think people are going to keep throwing their money into them. Whenever people make money, they're celebrating, like they're posting their P&Ls. They don't care if the token rugs 5 seconds after they made their money. They are just like, thank God I got out. Here's my P&L. But what you don't realize is that money came from 20 other people in the space. So sometimes you win, you're happy, and then when they lose, like they're looking for somebody to blame. But how many losers have been at the other side of their transaction looking for somebody to blame? So I think this space is just funny. Like they say, no crying in the casino. And although I do believe we're going to see more celebrities launch tokens, potentially even more countries launch tokens, the next casino that people are looking to ape into is Safemoon. Yes, Safemoon. They are back with a Solana token. There is going to be some allocation for the holders of the old token, but I'm sure this game is going to continue going. People are going to continue throwing money into this stuff, complain when they lose, celebrate when they win. That's human nature. Anyways, that does it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, would you kindly hit that subscribe button, smash that bell notification. Thank you for watching another Crypto Gorilla video. Peace.